Hi everybody, it's the Soap Man. It's Friday and it's time to make some soap. So you're staring down into the crock pot. So if you've watched me before, you know I'm making some hot process soap. So what I like to do, my preferred way, is to use embeds. When I do a cold process soap and I have soap batter left over in the containers or whatever, I pour it into an individual mold and let them turn to soap and build up and accumulate, and then I cut them into bite-sized pieces to go into the soap, and it'll be suspended in the thick hot process soap. So I usually do a single color. So today I'm doing one called Summer Crush, which to me has a very peach-like appearance. I've never used it. We're going to find out what it looks like. And I'm going to fragrance this with Nature's Garden Gingered Peach. I have used this before. This seizes in cold process, so Nature's Garden recommends not using it in cold process because it seizes, but it's fine for hot process because you pour it in after the cook and it's already soap, so there's no risk of seizing. And I've used it and it holds up beautifully and it smells good. So let's get started. I'll bring you along. I always put the color right in and cook it in with the soap. If I'm doing one color, that is. So let's see what this Summer Crush looks like. So this is just the oils, no lye in here. Very nice, very nice. So let's go ahead and get our lye in here. When dealing with hot process, I'm not worried about temperatures. The oils are about 135, the lye is about 145. It really does not matter with hot process because it's going to get hot anyway and come together. So let's pour our lye into here. And that is hot because I can feel this container. This plastic container is hot. So let's bring this up to emulsion. And with hot process, I like a very, very well emulsified heavy tray. So I'll be doing a good bit of stick blending here. The reason I like it really well emulsified is when it starts to cook, it's going to separate anyway. It just normally does. I'll bring you to that stage if you haven't seen it. So I just like to make sure it's very well emulsified so I don't have my oils separating. See what I mean? I like it really thick. One more time, go ahead and hit it once more. All right, that's good enough. I'm going to put the lid on and I'll bring you back in a little while at the next stage. Okay, so can you see what's going on right here in the corner? It's starting to cook, and that's just within a few minutes. So I usually at this point kind of break it up and get it stirred around. And at this point, it's going to start moving really fast. So I just kind of stir it up a little bit. Distribute the heat. And it doesn't look very pretty right now, but just wait till we're finished. It's actually going to get uglier than this after just a few minutes. But that's it for now. I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, we have a lot of activity going on. I told you at the beginning it's going to try to separate anyway, and that's what's happening. So this is what's called the applesauce stage, because it looks like the consistency of applesauce. Now, of course, mine is colored, but if this were uncolored, this would look very much like applesauce. So I just kind of give it a good stir, clean down the sides. So within just a few minutes, we will be at the mashed potato stage. I'll show you that. This is where you never, ever, ever want to leave hot process unattended, because it could start to climb and push the lid off, and you're going to have caustic soap all over the place. Been there, done that. Always watch your hot process, never leave it unattended. Okay, we are now at the mashed potato stage. Everything's coming back together. It's behaving beautifully, not wanting to crawl or anything, not wanting to climb out of the crock pot. But see, when you stir it, looks like nice big fluffy mashed potatoes. So I'm just going to give it a real quick stir. I don't want to lose much water. I want to keep this as fluid as possible. But yeah, look at that. Nice fluffy mashed potatoes. And in just a few minutes, we'll be at gel stage and it'll be cooked. It will be soap. Okay, let's check on our soap. And it is shiny and glossy, which means we are at gel stage, folks. About 25 minutes from the time I pour the oil and lye water together, I have soap. I could let this cool and go take a shower with it. I won't, don't recommend it. I'll talk about that in just a minute. But this is soap, so it's time to pull the plug. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull this hot crock out of the base and let this start to cool, because it's a little too hot to work with. It's a little too hot to fragrance and a little bit too hot for embeds. So I'm going to shut us down and I'll bring us back in a few minutes. Okay, so this is down to about 175 Fahrenheit. So the next stage is to put in sodium lactate. This is 100% optional. You do not have to do this. I like to do it, as do a lot of soapers, because it helps keep your hot process fluid a little bit longer. And you put this in at a rate of 1 teaspoon per pound of oil. So that would be 3 teaspoons for this. Although this is still really fluid anyway. So we'll stir that in. As far as super fat, you can do it two ways. Some soapers like to cook this with 0% super fat. They formulate their recipe with 0 super fat, and then they put the super fat in at this point. I have done that. I really don't see a lot of difference, so I just prefer to go ahead and make it into the recipe, just exactly the way I make cold process. So that's stirred in, and now it's time to put the fragrance in. Once again, this is Nature's Garden Gingered Peach. This seizes in cold process. You don't want to use this in cold process, but it works great in hot process. Now, before anybody panics, I've already measured. I know this entire bottle can go in here. I'm not just randomly dumping fragrance oil in. I can use this entire bottle in here and it will be within the skin safe recommendation. So there's going to be a lot of stirring. I pour a little bit, stir it in, pour a little, stir it in, and then I'm going to put my embeds in. So it's going to be a lot of stirring here, so I'll probably speed this up. that's how I make hot process soap. This will be cool and ready to cut probably 4 hours. I'll probably just go ahead and let it sit and cool naturally tonight and cut it in the morning and get this uploaded. So folks, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you later for the cut. Stay safe now. Bye. Okay, so I got a little impatient and couldn't wait, and that's one good thing about hot process. You don't have to wait. This is soap. It's ready. I said earlier, I mentioned why you shouldn't use it even though you can. It's full of water. It'll dissolve quickly. It won't last very long. Usually it should sit at least 1 to 2 weeks before you use it, but it's perfectly safe to use now. Mine will still go through a full 4-week cure before it's given out. So why do I do it? Because it's fun. That's why I do it. I like making hot process. So let's just go ahead and cut these. And all that leftover soap batter and all those containers, the last several batches of soap I made, didn't go to waste. And this other log will look the same, so I'll cut it off camera. But yeah, this is how I make hot process. I sometimes swirl, but this is my preferred way to do it. So folks, thanks for watching. Y'all take care of yourselves. Stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.